Hi, my name is Justin. I'm the Fire Chief of the Marystown Volunteer Fire Department, and thank you for viewing this video. We're very happy to have you here to film some coverage of our museum and our fire hall and showcase our fire department. This week is also Fire Prevention Week. We've been busy since last Sunday with a number of events starting at the church, community parade, multiple visitations and presentations, and also finishing off this evening with our Firefighters banquet. So with me we also have firefighters Jerry Hanrahan and Gerard Whittle, and these guys are involved with our Heritage Museum, the Gerard Kelly Heritage Museum, and they basically oversee the operation of the museum, the memorial grounds and that as well, which will be showcased in this feature.
I've been with the fire department for 37 years now. It started in 1967, and 12 founding members was the beginning of the fire department. Now with Engine 1, you'll see a little bit, she was the first truck in Marystown, brought here by Mr. John Cardolas was fire commissioner at the time, and she was placed in Marystown's first fire hall. And right now we increased from 1 truck to 7 trucks, and from 12 members to 30 members. And it's a very active department.
You're covering a large area.
Yes, we do cover a large area. We cover, what's the geographic area, Chief?
So we cover the community of Marystown primarily, with also providing assistance to the neighboring communities, Spanish Room, Rock Harbour, John de Bay, and Beauboy, and we also provide aid to other fire departments in the region. When called upon, if we can help, we'll help.
What's it like being a firefighter?
It's fun and scary at times, but it gives you a sense of pride that you're giving back to your community. Also, the children around get to see you and they kind of idolize you. So I got 2 small kids, which one of them are in the junior firefighters program here now that we have, which is really great. So yeah, it just gives you a sense of pride.
Would you like to describe your uniform?
So, well, this is a standard uniform for us. So this is your Nomex hood right here. Keeps the heat away from your neck and your head and stuff. And our helmets with a shield. They also have lights on them, which are on the back here. You turn the switch on. So you got a light in the back and a light in the front.
I'll go put on a breathing apparatus.
We also wear rubbers that are approved. Some places are different.
Steel toe and
Steel
also
toe.
plate in the bottom,
Yep.
to prevent puncture.
Fire rated gloves.
What's it like to do this in summer?
Pretty hot.
It's multiple layers. So this firefighting
show you.
ensemble are known as our bunker gear, and we have multiple layers for fire protection for our members when they encounter dangerous situations.
They also have a lanyard on them in the back here. So that helps if something happens, they can use that pull to get you out of a situation. So it's fairly heavy. What's the weight on this? About 7 pounds maybe?
Yeah, it's a different gear, weighs different amounts. Like the breathing apparatus that Jerry's going to get there now to show you, they come in at around 35 pounds itself. Then coupled with everything else that a firefighter wears, it does add weight. Some of our tasks are very strenuous, but again, doing the training and preparing our members for those situations is what it's about, becoming acclimatized and prepared for when we need to use that equipment. I grew up in a fire hall. My father has been a firefighter for 32 years. Then I followed in his footsteps, and then joining the Marystown Volunteer Fire Department after that as well, to continue serving my community and giving back. But it comes from the heart. You got to have the heart to do this and want to do this, but but it's about, at the end of the day, knowing that you could do something for someone to make their day better when they're having their worst day.
Do you have many fires here?
So we have 30 firefighters on our roster, all active members, serving our community. We, at this moment, we've responded to 88 emergency calls in the year of 2024. So we're a very busy fire department. We carry out many activities, not just training or things around the fire hall, but there's things out in our community like parades and fireworks and anything we can do when we can. And we're busy as it is, but when we can help and there's an opportunity to help, we're usually there to show our support to our community. Right here we have Rescue Unit 6, and this is our specialized rescue truck. Also here we have our newest addition to the fleet. This is Engine 2. It's replaced an older model. Actually, the twin of this truck is still in service. We'll see that as we go across the fire hall here. This here would be Rescue Unit 4. Rescue Unit 4 carries all of our bunker gear and also some rescue equipment for emergencies. Right here we have firefighter Jerry Handerhand dressed in full SCBA.
Would you like to describe?
So the SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus, basically what it does is provides protection from IDLH atmospheres, and IDLH is immediately dangerous to life and health. So basically this allows us to enter into conditions or structures or what have you to carry out responsibilities of ours, whether it be rescue or fire suppression.
This must be very heavy.
It is. The SCBA alone is about 35 pounds.
And how long would it last, a tube like this?
So those sets that we have, they're actually known as 1-hour sets. Now, with any strenuous activity, it wouldn't last that long, but those bottles are known as have a volume for 60 minutes of work. Again, depending on the situation and conditions.
And can you speak?
Yes.
What's it like in there?
It's very warm. When you're working structural fire or whatever, it do get very hot and tiresome after a period of time.
And I noticed you get a lot of warnings.
Yes, the warning is, that's called a man-down alarm. If you happen to be in a fire and something happens that you pass out or you get pinned up, the alarm will go off. You stay still for a minute and the alarm starts to go off. Therefore, other firefighters will be able to come in and rescue you with follow the beep, and they'll be able to rescue you.
And this is... Oh, it's for the belt.
For this here. We take this off and you put on here.
So, when would you apply this on?
Before entering the building. Before entering the structure, you put it on, test, make sure everything's okay. As you see Chief Bolt there that time fixing my jacket, we do that. Each member checks each member right before they enter a building.
What are the biggest challenges when you're working like this?
Agility and energy consumption are probably the biggest factors when you're wearing this, and also the footprint of a firefighter, because now you're extending the footprint on their back, so there may be areas that they have to go that's going to be confined, but we also train in safe maneuvers in those areas as well.
So I'm wondering, if one of the firefighters passes out, what happens?
So if they pass out, the PASS device, the personal alert safety system, basically will alert us to activate another team of firefighters with SCBA to go in and extricate that firefighter from their situation.
Don't understand that.
Do you have a message for those out there who to be more aware about the fires?
You comfortable. Just be more cautious with fire and promote fire safety in your town. There's a lot of departments have it like a fire prevention program. So take the message and be careful.
We have a full fire prevention program. Our efforts aren't just focused on 1 week of the year. We continue those daily, weekly, and any opportunity that we get to spread the message to members of our public to, be fire safe and how to do things, and even showing them how to do things when we have the opportunity. So continuing with the fleet, this is our secondary pumper. This responds to a number of emergencies as well, and basically it provides support to the other vehicles in our fleet for different emergencies. The ladder truck is one of our biggest assets in our fleet. It carries a lot of equipment due to the heavy capability of the truck that is able to take a lot of equipment, a lot of heavy equipment. It's also a form of protection for us on vehicle accidents because it's a big truck to make our members' work area safe. And with regards to that, it also allows us not only to reach the highest buildings in our community, but also provides us that aerial reach over structures as well, which give us a different advantage and reduces the strenuous activity on our members or the inability to reach something. So it's definitely a very versatile piece of equipment that allows us to do many different activities in our community.
So this truck here is our ladder one. So as you can see, it's for getting at like some of the more commercial buildings around. So this truck has outriggers. Everybody here out of 30 members are trained on this vehicle and can operate it. This also has how many gallons of water? 500 gallons of water this one can hold. Plus we can use it for relaying water. It'll actually be like a booster for us.
To another pumper.
To another pumper truck. If we have a structure fire somewhere that's a hydrant's not in the vicinity, well, we can conjoin trucks and keep moving water that way.
And who maintains them?
The town has a mechanic on staff that maintains our equipment vehicle-wise. We also have service companies that come in and check everything at least once a year. And we do our own checks. After each run, this truck is checked, washed, and then we do minor things ourselves to maintain a fleet that's always ready to go when that public call comes in.
So in the back we can seat four. These seats are equipped with SCBA. These we call jump seats. So you can fit 4 members here. And you can fit 2 up front, which is the driver and the passenger. All 30 members here can drive these trucks. We're all trained in these trucks, so it doesn't matter who comes first. Whoever gets there can drive this vehicle.
How long have you been with them?
Since 2021. I keep saying 2001 for some reason.
So how did you decide to become a firefighter?
So my 3 uncles actually were part of the fire department. Past members, they're not here now. And I just decided one day, every time I see these guys going around, and I've been asked a few times, so I started working home. I said if I can do something more for the community, I'm going to. So contacted these guys and put an application in and joined the fire department. And it's been great ever since.
What are the requirements?
So the requirements for the fire department basically is 19 years of age and working in the community to join. With regards to training, we will provide the training right from the boots on the ground to the incident command to the operation of a fire department. We provide all that training, and it takes many years, but through the dedication and commitment of our members, we're fortunate that we're able to train right now. Up to 80% of our membership has Firefighter 1. That's an NFPA certification, National Fire Protection Association, and that's equivalent to someone that's serving at a city fire department. And the other 20% are in process of completing their program as well. So that's only one example, but there's multiple courses: vehicle rescue, pump operations. Everything has its technicality and its special training, but we're able to provide that here and also provide other opportunities as they arise regionally or provincially, and even for us internationally at some cases.
When was your most recent event?
Yesterday, we had the kids come in and tore the fire hall for fire prevention week. Our last alarm was 12:30 last night.
Yeah, 12:30.
So if you're at home, what happens?
So first your pager, which we have here, will page out. So if you call 911, it'll come to all 30 members. It'll come through on our pagers, and it's pretty loud. And also we'll get a notification by Chief Bolt what the situation is, or if we're on, usually when our pager starts to vibrate, we're in the vehicles and moving. We're coming towards the fire department. And as we're in the process of getting here, Chief Bolt will usually message out and tell us what the situation is or where we gotta go more clearly and what the demands are when
And
we get there.
we are a strictly volunteer. The only paid member is Chief Bolt. He's paid chief. And the way the fire department worked, during the day he is paid. Nighttime he's volunteer, the same as the rest of us. The way the fire department worked for me is passed down from family to family in small communities. My dad was a volunteer firefighter here. I had two uncles that served up to 30 years here, and I had other relatives, second, third cousins that also served here. As Gerard said, he had uncles that served here, and this helped entice him to give back to the community.
And now since I've started, my brother serves there with me. So he just started, and now I got my oldest son, he's in the junior firefighters, and I'm sure once he's finished that and old enough, which you gotta be 18, I think, 19?
Does it happen for a firefighter to panic?
It does. That's why in our worst situations we draw back upon our level of training, and we train our members in being able to not only support themselves as they get in a situation of panic, but able to support the other firefighter. Everything here is done in buddy system, so we always have at least a pair of two, especially for our critical activities, to make sure that we have the redundancy in place to be able to take care of our people.
And we would never, and I know Chief Bolt would never put anybody in a situation that they're uncomfortable. So if they don't feel comfortable, the main thing is to speak up. I mean, maybe they're fine with using the pump, and there's a million other jobs for them to do. If they're uncomfortable with it, they'll never be put in that situation.
We range from traffic control to fighting the structural fire.
Or you could be
water
in the truck
rescue.
on accountability. Accountability is just as important as anything. So these guys on accountability will actually take your name tags. They know who's on their air and where everybody is located, and they have a radio that they can contact you and keep in contact. So they're probably our most important person.
We are seeing these Hollywood movies where a firefighter is superhero. Is it really like that?
Don't believe everything you see on TV, but you know, there are some things that are right, there's some things that are wrong, but the grassroots of the fire service is built on pride and work ethic and a structured environment to make sure that our community has us when they need us. We have a membership of 30 firefighters, ranging from 3 months service to over 37 years. Each of those brings a different background, different experiences, but it all adds to the department and how it operates and what we can do. So with regards to our people, we also make sure to provide and take care of our people. And in this area here, this is our cleaning station area. So like this here equipment is for washing our bunker gear, the gear that the guys would have wore here previously in your video. And it removes the contaminants and carcinogens, things to make our people safer. But we also provide cleaning facilities for the personnel themselves so that they can decontaminate themselves as well before taking it home to their families. And this department is built on a family atmosphere. When we can and where it's possible, our families are here with us, are involved in the different activities and different events. They support us wholeheartedly. When the pager goes off, it's not just the 30 firefighters that are activated, it's their families. And if we're on long duration calls from our auxiliary, the fire wrens, or from our partners, there's always someone calling to check in on us to see if there's something else they can do. And what affects one of us affects all of us. We see some of our best moments together, and we see some of the worst. But at the end of the day, it's about making sure that if Jerry calls tonight at 2:30 or Gerard calls today at 2:30, they get the support that they need for whatever the situation may be.
What is the average response time?
So we're very fortunate here in Marystown. We have a number of people that work very close during the daytime. Usually within a minute during the day, we have a truck at least leaving the hall, followed by the other trucks as required. During the nighttime, we're somewhere around the 5-minute mark of being able to get trucks going out the door, which is very fortunate. And we're able to maintain the standards that are set upon us for insurance rates and NFPA as well for maintaining a offensive fire department, which requires different things when you arrive on scene and getting to the scene. So we're very fortunate for that. And I guess to lead into the museum, so Firefighter Gerard is also the chairperson of our Heritage Committee, and through the support of Firefighter Jerry and the other members, as well as all the members of the fire department and past members, it's all about drawing upon history and looking at what was done before us, because that's how we got to where we are today. But these guys have kept things going, looking at how to make things better, more dedicated to the past members. And our memorial showcases any member that served with our department at any time for however long, no matter, there was no...
Whether it was a day or...
Exactly.
Day or 20 years, everybody was the same when it comes to this department.
So they've been recognized on our memorial, and we're in the process of finalizing that grounds area, which you'll see as well. But if Gerard would want to, and Jerry want to take you through the museum to...
Yeah, we'll go this way. So just open the door, turn the lights on there.
How old is this engine?
So this was our very first fire truck for Marystown Fire Department. 1967 Dodge. So this was our first pumper that was for here in Marystown.
And she is used for parades and other events for the town. She's very operational. We don't use the pump in that now, but
They are made in the States.
This one, where was this one made? Yeah.
Quebec. She was built in Quebec.
Sold in service by there, but she was built in Quebec.
Carl Thibault.
Carl Thibault built her in Quebec.
Because each province is different. Can you ask the company to design your truck in a certain way?
Yes. So the newest pumper that you would have seen on the floor, they were provided with a specification to meet our needs, and that is a fully customized truck. To also It's designed with the firefighter's safety and ergonomics in mind. Everything is brought down to the firefighter other than having to rack hose at the end up on top of the truck. Everything has been lowered, things around pull-out trays, a lot of different features like that, and even the controls in the cab for traveling safety. That the console is in the middle of the driver and passenger to give them better control and less distraction when responding to an emergency.
Do you have a lot of people coming here?
Yes, how many did we have go through this year? 100 and some odd?
Yeah, I believe so.
120, 130 people come through this summer.
So it was pretty basic, pretty basic back then compared to what we have now. A lot of mechanical stuff in these vehicles, where now we're slowly starting to merge towards a lot of electrical stuff. And
She was the top of her class in today.
she was top of the line most of the time.
What would this do?
This is your control valves. You put the trucking pump up here. You come out here and this is how you get your water off. You haul your tank suction, then haul what line you want. It's line 1, 2, whatever the case may be. Whatever your member wants, whatever line is going off the truck. Each one of these is a line. You can run water from these here and you can take water in from drafting through these.
Fire hydrant.
Hydrant, whatever the case may be.
And how many firefighters would go?
Just one. What way we work here, when we get a call, the first person in the station takes the pumper. The pumper is the first one to roll out. The next person puts up the door, takes rescue 4, waits for 2 people to come to be in the back, and while you're en route, you get dressed. You have your BA. When you arrive on scene, everybody, the 2 people in the back is ready to
Are dressed and ready to go. So, probably, I don't know if you want to start this way and go around, but this is more or less our electronic side of things, how it's after and evolving over the years.
This
Pager.
This was our pager, first pagers,
This is what we have now.
compared to what we have now.
It's a lot heavier.
You ready to read?
Fire phones back today.
Burin, Firefighter. And that's your
Modern radio.
monitor radio today.
That was it.
This is the original one here.
Yeah.
Like a wartime.
Yeah.
Here, just hold on right here. Just put it. Just want to go.
So this is a stamp.
Yep.
That was a special edition stamp that the Canada Post put out. That one was one of the earlier ones, and then they came out with the most recent stamp a few years ago to present to first responders and firefighters in particular in this one.
This here is our firefighter's prayer, which every bank was one of the members of the fire department donated this to us. So this was 32nd. We're into our
53rd.
This is from 2003. This one.
So why do they change?
I don't know what changed in it.
So the fire service is about inclusion and diversity, and from the earlier days of the fire department, the terminology on someone that served here was fireman. We've evolved to where we have female firefighters, and the terminology, is grown to reflect that. At this present time, we have 2 female firefighters. We've had others serve in the past, and now many members of our junior firefighters are also female. And it's about moving forward and progression, and that's given the change of the terminology.
This new one.
So it should be the same.
Can you read it?
When I am called to duty, God, wherever flames may rage, give me strength to save a life, whatever be its age. Help me embrace a little child before it is too late, or save an older person from the horrors of that fate. Enable me to be alert and hear the weakest shout, and quickly and efficiently to put the fire out. I want to fill my calling and to give the best of me, to guard my every neighbour and to protect his property. And if according to my fate I am to lose my life, please bless with your protecting hand my children and my wife. It's pretty deep.
These are some of the helmets that we had. These are back helmets what we had first when the fire department started and advanced up. And mostly every event we got pictures. This is from back in 1983. Photo albums.
And these are awards?
These are awards that years ago, the Outstanding Fire Department of the Year and Muscular Dystrophy and all this stuff. These are some of the awards that we have put on our wall.
Is there a reason why you choose muscular dystrophy?
Muscular dystrophy is a cause that the fire service has backed since I think it's the late 70s. And the Marystown Fire Department, we've been involved with muscular dystrophy since 1983. Its efforts to give those who are affected by the 150 plus neuromuscular disorders, to give them research, some funding to help with accommodations, things like that, that help them going through what they're facing, to give them that support, that we're behind them. And it's a cause, like I said, across the nation that has raised millions over the years. Just here alone, since 1983, it's well over 100,000 that we've donated ourselves, given the public support. And we're very proud of that. And every year we do different events for that cause.
Right here, years ago, we never had a truck with lights on it, so the volunteer chief, this was what went on the fender of his car, and the light went in his dash. This down here are some of the nozzles from back in the day when the truck first came here. Oxygen bottle, projector. This one here, when I first joined the fire department, you see the gear we had, and there's some of the gear right here behind. This is the gear I wore when I first joined the fire department. You put on your pair of coveralls first, then you put on your hip rubbers, then you put your coat on. This is the old breathing apparatus, as you see out there, how the difference in your helmets. This is one of our old breathing apparatuses here. I'll take it out. This one here, as we refer to it, as a Chevette. It's about 55, 60 pound in this, and it's a steel cylinder. That's what we used to wear years ago, and that was a composite and very, very light.
So these are some of our past fire chiefs.
Are they still around?
The only one left living is
Alex.
Chief Cody. The rest have passed. And as you can see right here, this is a mural that was painted by a teacher at the Mr. David Hatch at MCHS. This was the RC Church in Marystown, which burned October the 5th in 1976. That's the old truck.
So this truck, yeah.
It was this truck that responded?
Yeah.
Yes, this was the truck that responded.
So as you can see, the gauges, when you took the video of the side, this is the same gauge panel and stuff that he painted.
There was that much heat from that fire that the lens of the rotating light on the cab of the truck actually melted that night.
She was probably 1,500 to 2,000 feet away from the structure when the light melted on the roof of the truck. This was, actually, if we go this way, this was the first chief, and you can see the dates, second, third.
Did you have human losses?
Not in the church.
Not in recent time. However, since we're first formed, there have been some losses of life due to fire. More commonly that we've been experiencing is loss of life in motor vehicle accidents and other rescue activities.
So you respond not only to fires but to other events?
So our fire department is basically a full response fire department other than medical. We respond to everything fire related, everything rescue, water rescue, wastewater rescue, vehicle rescue. We also provide hazardous materials response and high angle rescue. The only thing that we don't do is medical calls, but our call volume keeps our members very busy, and there's a local ambulance service.
We do medical at a car accident, tell the ambulance.
We provide first aid on any situation that we're involved with where we're called as the fire department.
So you have CPR and first aid training?
We do. All of our members are trained to a level of first aid and CPR to provide not only care for those that are involved in any fires or rescue activities, but also to take care of our fellow members if something was to go wrong.
Do you have any training into burns and?
Yes, so part of the first aid and CPR training, there is care for burns and wounds and all that type of thing. So our training is well versed. We do have people with EMS backgrounds and things like that, but when we respond as a firefighter, we're responding as a first aider only to incidents that we're responding to as a fire department. Like I said, fire and rescue response. So this here is came from the old programming that VOCM Cares carried out back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was for fire prevention. VOCM Cares was big into fire prevention after some bad fires in the province, and this was one of their partnerships to help make those in our community safer.
So it's like a mobile?
It was a remote control device, but it also go along with like Sparky or our firefighters in gear. It was all to make that effect and to spread the messaging of fire safety. So as you can see, there's a number of older pieces of equipment that we've collected, not only from here, but given that we're one of the few museums in the province and even across the country for fire service, that we've had donations of equipment from others. And up here you will see this photo. That's the picture of our founding members.
How do you see the future of firefighting?
So the future, the 5-year outlook versus the 10 looks different. People are busier, and with people being busier also comes the challenge of meeting the need of our community as a fire service, accommodating and providing the levels of training when available. Also, the demands of the job today have grown from responding to house fires to now vehicle fires, rescue. The evolution of the fire department in general is an emergency service, not just fire.
The biggest one I had was last year. Last year, the year before last, Chief Bolt went to Texas with Everwind and done some advanced phone firefighting. Last year, I went to Texas and done it. It was very nice. And this year, we had another member go to Texas and do the same training. What else? Like right here in Marystown now, with right from Chief Kelly, who's passed now, Chief Cody, Chief Bull. Every week we have training, and it's intense training. We go to our smokehouse. As people in smokehouse, we have vehicle extrication, we have roof ventilation, we have high angle rescue. Like, we meet every Monday night. Every Monday nights out of the month we do training, and then we have a monthly meeting. So each group gets to do a rotation of every scenario, like smokehouse, roof ventilation, extrication, high angle rescue. Everybody has a turn at that during the month.
And like Jerry, I've been in the service 17 years, but I've seen a lot of changes and a lot of advancements, and I'm sure in 37 years, Jerry can certainly speak on that. And I guess even for Gerard in 3-4 years, you know, you can see how things.
The biggest thing I enjoy out of this is fellas like Jerry and Justin around that, you know, maybe fairly new, but these guys don't realize that they're actually teaching you stuff when they're not really teaching you stuff. It's from their experience. You know what I mean? And these guys been around long enough that they've seen how to do stuff correctly, that they pass it on to the newer members. And for me, I'm hoping that I'm here for 37 years. Right? That's how much I enjoy it.
What is it that you do in your life, in your real life?
Me? I'm a journeyman pipe fitter. Yeah.
I'm a steel worker, but right now, the last number of years, I changed over and I'm a heavy equipment operator with the town of Marystown.
So you have technical background.
Yeah.
Does it help?
Oh, 100%. The mechanical side of things is yeah, I know these guys. I can pretty much hands-on with anything that's there. So, like, if there's something I don't know, I know I can look to these guys and know right away they'll give me an answer on it. And that's, you know, and a big thing for me is Jerry might say, all right, I'm going to retire next year, so if I don't get as much knowledge from him now as I can, I won't be able to get it later on. And for me to get knowledge from him and pass it to the next guy, right? So whatever knowledge I'm getting from Jerry or Justin or any of these members that have been here longer, I'm going to pass on to the next guy. So it keeps it rolling. But if you know, that is a big thing. Like, you gotta have people that are willing to learn, and once they learn this, they'll pass it on to the next person, and that's how we keep everything going, is the heritage of things and stuff like that. It's like this. Jerry was the chairperson in how long over this Heritage Museum?
4 or 5 years.
So he's been 4 or 5. I'm on my second year. I think this is my second year for it. So, you know, we're kind of keeping it going, and the more people we get interested in it, and within the fire department that want to take it over, that's what we try to do. We try to pass it along to the next person and let them do so much, you know.
Now in the summer we have a student here through working with the recreation department with the town of Marystown. We have a student here for 2 afternoons during the week, and people come and go through in this chapel, guide them and show them stuff, and that at the fire hall, which proved to be 120, 130 people go through the fire hall this year.
Are you required to go to St. John's for training or?
No, so we're fortunate that we have a number of us who are instructors certified through the province that we can provide all training locally. However, networking is a big thing of doing regional and provincial courses and different ways of doing things, but also keeping up on the new changes in the fire service and how things are done is why we take part in outside training. But also, you know, it's about, the fire service is about meeting others, sharing experiences like the guys have even said. And not only that, but to get out there and there's new ideas. Others have the same challenges. How are you dealing with it? This is how we're dealing with it. You know, it's not about we're the Marystown Fire Department. We're the Marystown Fire Department who is a part of a provincial fire service who has the same unique challenges and different issues that can help someone else, or they can help us. Together, no different than us here. What affects one of us affects all of us, and we help each other here, It's the same as a fire department. We help others and they help us. It's not about being the be-all, end-all. We're not, and we never would be. It's about everybody coming together to make it what it is.
How would you summarize the Fire Prevention Week?
Fire Prevention Week, very busy. Again, like the Heritage Museum, the fire prevention program is led by a committee chaired by Firefighter Rebecca Soper, and that committee organizes and basically facilitates all of the activities of that week and also all year long. No different than we have multiple committees here. You have fundraising to get those extras, or to do those upgrades of what we have existing. You have the fire department events, which is family events, also our banquet, which is this evening. You have maintenance, which takes care of our facilities. Then muscular dystrophy, as we've spoken on. Junior firefighters, right? Heritage, fire prevention. So it takes a village to make this place work, and we have that support, not only our current members, but even past members and our families. And if there's anything on the go, there's usually a crowd.
And you have a Facebook?
We do. So we have a Facebook account. We also have Twitter, and we have a website as well for anyone that's interested in checking us out. Search up the Marystown Volunteer Fire Department, and I'm sure you'll find us.
What is the lifespan of a light like that?
It's changed now with technology, especially most things have migrated to LED, and that lasts so much longer.
The picture here. So no matter this wall here, these are honorary members past. So honorary members are usually 10 years and above, or plaques for them. And past members, no matter if they're here a week or a month or whatever, they're all included on this board. So this a lot of this is the past members up in here over the years, and this here is our fire ends board of past members.
Go to the monument?
Yep.
Just watch the wind there too. Sounds like it's pretty windy. Yeah. So this is a new one that we just done. This was the previous one that was donated. So we've been so this was all donated by Wiseman's Funeral Home, as you can see here. It's nice to see that this is blank, because if that could stay blank forever, we'd have it stay blank.
As I stated earlier, it is a family orientated thing. This is my dad here.
This one here this was my uncle. He was the first one on this plaque. And since we put this out here, I think these members have been added. So since we put it here, this is how many members have been added to this within the last, years.
So this is hazmat.
So this truck is a mobile unit. It does a lot of off-road work for us. It also is part of our water rescue program, and it is a crew carrier as well, an equipment carrier. So it responds to a multitude of emergencies. No truck here is basically exempt from any call. Depending on the call, all trucks may be in use. And we're very fortunate to have what we have due to the support of the town and also the community. For instance, this hovercraft was donated by the Hebron Project.
What is the Hebron project?
The Hebron Project, so many people would be familiar with the Hebron offshore oil platform. So part of that project, when it was being fabricated, was done here in the town of Marystown, and they supported the local groups in the area at that time.
So how does it work?
So this unit actually works on it's an air curtain. So basically, when the unit is in operation, it fills up an air curtain underneath, and it's powered by a fan on the back, which is basically an aircraft motor
It's like a
engine.
propeller.
Yes. So that powers it along once it's up on its air cushion to go to where you need to be.
It's operated by one person?
No, 2 people. 1 person and behind a rescuer.
Would you be wearing the uniform?
Flotation device, helmet, all the necessities. Just turn on the power supply.
So what's the speed of this machine?
All right, a little bit, about 20 mile an hour, maybe 25.
On the
All depends.
on the ice, she's a whole lot faster, but there's one thing you gotta remember with a hovercraft. The steering and turning is different, because as you can see on the back, the fin's moving. And when you're on the ice, it's not like, or on the ground, it's not like a skidoo or a bike that you got brakes. There's no brakes on it. You have to slack off the throttle for it to power down.
And each firefighter must learn to
So
operate it.
anything, all of the activities and services that we provide, all of our members are cross-trained, so that given any time, whether it be 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or December versus July, when we need people to respond to an incident, we're able to provide a crew that's able to do that. We don't know who's available at each moment, but we're very fortunate. For an average response, our numbers are somewhere around 16, depending on what the call may be. And if it's a large-scale emergency, it would be very strange if we don't have all of our available members on scene. We've been on house fires, so out of our whole membership, basically, other than the couple that may be out of town at the time, everybody's there to support one another and make things happen. So Justin is one of our captains, and he's also our public relations.
So this here, this is our smokehouse. As you can see, we have it set up with multiple props and obstacles that we may come in when we actually have a structure fire in our community. As you can see, it's quite dark. We train for worst case scenario. And as you can tell, we do quite a bit of training in here. It's one of our top priorities for our firefighters. We always want to be ready for whatever we may come across. And this smokehouse, it has 2 levels, and we actually have a storage unit on the end where we keep some extra supplies. With this structure here, we can train multiple groups of firefighters at one time. We can use our ground level, we can use our top level.
we can do dry runs. We have one of our vehicles. When we get our vehicles, we can use them for many different things. We can use them for practice vehicle extrication with tools that you might have referred to as jaws of life. Once we get our department up here, we can cut this car up, we can take doors off, we can take roofs off, we can practice stabilization, get familiarization with some different cars. Once the car is cut up, it's not finished for us. We actually use it again. We actually run it, use it as a vehicle for, and that's another element that our department is quite busy with frequently, vehicle fires. So it's very important to practice those trainings. So what we will do, we practice diesel fires here for wildland fires. We will light this pad on fire with diesel, get the flames up, and our firefighters will actually attack, practicing foam and other things to using this burn pit. Right here, this is our stationing area. We get on scene. We always have a staging area, what I should call it. So here we discuss what the plan is, what we're going to do. We discuss the teams. We break our firefighters up in teams of going in, and this is where we debrief after and where we talk about the stuff before. So our firefighters as well as our officers were well prepared for the task that we want to do in the evening training. Over here along the side, this can actually be used as a storage area. This is where we keep a lot of our props, as well as this can also be used as I guess you could say a meeting area for if we do regional training. One of our props here, we practice breaking through a wall. So as you can see, our firefighters recently practiced. We put some drywall up, and we recently practiced going through a wall with the full SCBA on and breaching the wall, as we call it. And over here, this is actually a new prop to our training grounds. And so this here may look like a regular fire hydrant that you may see in your community. It's actually a prop that we can use to practice hooking up to a fire hydrant and get our firefighters familiar with one of the main resources that we need in water. If we pull up to a big structure fire or a vehicle fire and we need more water, this is the first thing that's utilized. So it's very important to have this here and have our firefighters comfortable with hooking up to a fire hydrant. One of the tasks that we have to do on a structure fire, folks, you can see we have a roof prop here. So normally this will be sheeted over, but as you can see, our fire department's been very active with this. So we would sheet this roof over and actually pinch ladders up on so that we can get used to getting up on and working off a ladder, cutting a hole, and going in. So that's one of the props that we use quite frequently. This here is actually a water tank. Move this out of the way. Switch it out. Over here. So this is a water tank that we have down here. So one of the things that we can do, we're pretty fortunate in our community that we have hydrants a lot of the places. Sometimes we do have to do what's called drafting. So we have to draft from a pond or a lake. So this here, this holds water. I'm not sure if we can open this. See, so we have water in there that we can practice drafting. So basically drafting is the same as using a fire hydrant, but we take a hose, put it down in, and fill our trucks up from drafting this. And then here we have our tower, where we practice rope rescue, triangle rescue. So what we can do, we can come up, and there's actually hooks up on top of this second one. So we practice rappelling, we practice hoisting tools from the first level here, and different things like that. So even when we do dry runs with no smoke and no flame inside this smokehouse, when our firefighters come out, we do what's called a decon. We clean their suits, we clean their SCBAs, we clean their face beads, we clean everything. Just so that nothing goes back in dirty. If it comes out clean, it should go back clean. That's our approach, and we use that approach at the fire hall as well. When we come back off a scene, our bunker gear do not enter past our bay doors.
So again, as you can see from this morning, that there's many different factors and many different activities and many different roles within a fire department. To prevent a fire is basically our #1 priority.